All right, let's get started in a seat. You can go ahead and cross your legs and close your eyes. Let the inhale lift the crown of your head up so you find a nice long spine. Try to soften through your jaw space, the tops of your shoulders, anywhere that might be feeling a little tight, cobwebby. You can let your palms face up or face down, whatever feels best for you. And then just find and establish a rhythm with your breath. It doesn't have to be very deep or audible or big. For most of us, a lot of the time being still and the practice of doing nothing is a lot more difficult than the actual physical practice itself. It can be much more challenging to find that calmness and that discipline when we're not distracted. And so if you find that it's uncomfortable or maybe awkward, or if you even feel a little bit vulnerable or exposed in the softer, quiet spaces, know that you're not alone. And if you can even find one true breath in and breath out, and you're slowly putting in the work. So we'll move a little bit slower today and really use that as an opportunity to explore how your breath can take up space in different shapes, the energies, and the shifts that occur over the next hour. So allow yourself to take the seat of the observer. Enjoy the moments where you feel at ease and at home. And then continue to stay present in the places that make you feel a bit uncomfortable. Keep your eyes closed and make your way into child's pose. So go a little slower and feel your way there rather than navigating and seeing your way there. Feel the heaviness of the ground below you as your forehead kisses the earth. And then maybe notice if you can send your breath into your middle back. So it might grow a little bit deeper, but still there's no rush and there's no forcing. If you do start to feel yourself travel off mentally, then notice the smaller parts of each shape, like how the tops of your feet are pressing down. Spread your fingers nice and wide and crawl your arms as far forward as you can, keeping your forehead on the mat. So you might even feel this lengthening right underneath your armpits. And then like down dog, press the ground down and slightly forward. So you get a little bit more engagement. Your elbows might even lift off the ground. And from the heels of your palms, keep your eyes closed and drag your way forward to your hands and your knees. Come on up. Good. Eyes are still closed. Spread your fingers wide. Can you feel all 10 fingerprints press into the ground? And then as you breathe in, let your belly fall. Soften your elbows back. Tip your nose up towards the sky. Good. As you exhale, press the ground away, long arms, back of your heart to the sky. With your breath, breathe in, belly falls, soften your elbows back as you thread your heart forward. And exhale, press the ground away, press through the tops of your feet. Take a few more rounds like this. I encourage you to keep your eyes closed. And so no one is watching you, and you're not watching anyone, so you can really let this be a natural expression. How can you move like yourself here? You might add a little bit more fluidity side to side, forward and back. So take what you need. Over the next few rounds of breath, make your way into downward facing dog. You might keep your eyes closed when you arrive, or you might open your eyes. Find some movement here, maybe bending into one leg and the other, waking up the backs of your hamstrings. Can you find an exaggeration of length across your low back space, your waist, so you get nice and long through your spine, including your neck? Really press the ground away so you sink your heart back towards your shins. Good. Soft jaw, full breath. Slow motion as you breathe in, send your right foot up and back behind you. Kicking through your heel, flex your toes straight down towards the mat. And then keeping your right leg long and straight, stack your right hip over your left hip. Good. So right leg long just for a bit. It might be a little different. You're used to bending your knee. Flare your toes out and away from you. Keep pressing the ground away. And then bend your right knee and stack open just a little bit more. Good. So right knee points up towards the sky. Think about kicking your right heel towards your left sits bone. And then across the right side of your body, take a full breath in. Knee to nose as you exhale. Press the ground away. Draw your knee up and towards your collarbone. Step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee down to the ground. Reach both arms up towards the sky. And from here, soften your hands down by your sides, about hips height. Palms face up. And roll your shoulder blades onto the back of your heart so you find this exaggeration as you lift your chest up. And then imagine like you're lifting something really heavy, but it won't quite budge. So you find this expansion across your pecs. And then take your chin back. We'll call this wing arms. High prayer overhead. Let your palms connect. Full breath in. Can you make this a little bit more of a heart opener? Half splits. So release your hands to the earth. Sit halfway back. Lengthen your right leg. Flex your right toes up towards your shin. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway. As you exhale, keep that length and pour over the right shin. Soft jaw. Rebend back into your right leg, low lunge. Curl your left toes, lift your left knee. As you breathe in, send your right arm towards the sky and lean back into your left hand. Good. Take the crown of your head forward. And then even here, can you find a little heart opener? So lean back a bit, rolling your right rib cage behind you. At the top of the mat, forward fold. Right hand down, left foot steps up to meet the right. Soften into your knees. Really let your head hang. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway, long spine, draw your heart forward. Exhale, fold down. Keep your knees soft. With a long spine, stand tall. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Root down through your feet as you gaze up, and then find a little bit of a heart opener here, so it doesn't have to be too big. Good. As you exhale, soften into your knees and fold all the way down to the mat. Tailbone goes back. Move slow. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold down. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Keep your left heel lifted. Lengthen out your right leg, shimmying your hips back for a wide pyramid stance. Good, so both legs long. Just like you did earlier, fold over that right shin. Rebend back into your right leg, low lunge. Downward facing dog, step back. Re-arrive, find your breath. Just like you did on your hands and your knees, from the heels of your palms, roll yourself forward to plank pose. Shoulders over your wrists. Good, pause. Press the ground away. Can you find a little doming at the back of your heart, almost like cat pose? Yes. Then as you inhale, tip forward onto your toes and lower all the way down to the mat. Come to the tops of your feet, point your toes back, root down through the tops of your feet. As you breathe in, lift your chest up and forward for baby cobra. Like cow pose, slide your shoulders back and kind of use the heels of your palms to drag your collarbones just a bit further forward. As you exhale, release down, forehead to the earth. Curl your toes into the mat, and as you inhale, press up to plank or tabletop. The breath out is downward facing dog. Re-arrive. Hear your breath. As you inhale, send your left leg up and back behind you. Activate your foot by flexing your toes. And then without bending your knee, stack your left hip over your right hip. Bend your knee and pour open a little bit more. Left heel towards your right sits bone. Through your left side body, breathe in full. Knee to nose as you breathe out. Really find this doming in your back body. Step your left foot forward between your thumbs. Right knee lowers down. Rise up, and again, take that wing arm variation. So palms face up by your sides. Roll your shoulder blades onto the back of your heart to really lift your chest up and forward. Take your chin back. Imagine like the back of your hands have magnets pulling them towards one another behind you. High prayer overhead. Breathe in. Half splits. Hands to the earth. Lengthen out your left leg. Sit back. Flex your toes up towards your shin. Breathe halfway up to find length. And then keep that length as you hinge forward. Rebend back into your left leg, low lunge, curl your right toes, lift your right knee. And as you inhale, send your left arm towards the sky. Lean back. So make this a bit of a back bend as well as a twist. Forward fold at the top of your mat, left hand to the earth, right foot steps up. Let the inhale lengthen you halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Long spine, stand tall as you breathe in, reach up. Fold right back down as you breathe out, tailbone back, heart forward. Halfway up, breathe in. Fold down, breathe out. This time step your right foot to the back of the mat. Stay off of your right heel. Straighten your left leg, shifting your hips back. A wide pyramid. Always an option to bring your fingertips to the earth or blocks below your hands. Rebend into your left knee, shift the weight forward. Downward facing dog, ground through your palms as you step back. From the heels of your palms, exaggerate it as you ripple forward to plank. Roll on forward and lower all the way down to the mat. Root through the tops of your feet, cobra any height. Breathe your chest up and forward. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Re-arrive. Full breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. From here, come high to your tiptoes and slowly walk your way to the top of the mat. Soften a bit into both legs. Really let your upper body collapse onto your lower body here. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Breathe in to stand tall. Reach both arms towards the sky. Fold right back down as you exhale. Sun Sal A. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway. Fold down and breathe out. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog. From the heels of your palms, plank pose, breathe forward. This time lower halfway or all the way to the mat. Come to the tops of your feet, up dog or cobra. Roll your shoulders back, and can you soften your elbows a bit? Good. Downward facing dog, roll over your toes. Nice and slow at first. Let the breath in, send your right leg high. Step to the top of the mat as you breathe out. Left foot meets the right foot. Lengthen up halfway. Fold down as you breathe out. Another round like that, slow and sweet. Breathe in, reach up towards the sky. Fold right back down as you breathe out. Halfway up, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Left foot steps back. Downward facing dog. Good. Plank is a slow roll forward. And chaturanga, breathe halfway down. Up dog or cobra, full inhale. Downward facing as you breathe out. So drink the breath in like it's a sweet nectar. Breathe the left leg high. Top of the mat, step forward. Right foot meets the left foot halfway up. Breathe in. Fold down as you breathe out. A little bit quicker. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Fold back down, exhale. Right foot steps back. Downward facing dog. Plank as you breathe in, roll on forward. In vinyasa, move like yourself. Start to build a little bit of heat. Maybe you texturize the back of your throat. Your inhale sends the right leg high. Step to the top of the mat as you breathe out. Left foot meets the right foot. Lengthen up halfway. Head falls as you breathe out. So move at your own pace. Breathe in and stand tall. Right back down. Fold into yourself. Left foot steps back. Down dog. The inhale carries you forward, plank pose. Chaturanga, elbows hug back. Up dog, breathe big. Down dog, breathe out. The inhale sends your left leg high. Step forward, nice and slow. Right foot meets the left, long spine. Fold down as you breathe out. Last full round. Breathe in and stand tall. Right back down, exhale. Right foot steps back, downward facing. Plank, breathe in, you know the way. Chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. Downward facing, breathe out. This time pause, have a few moments. And bring your feet together, come up high to your toes, gaze forward. Soften your knees, but keep pressing the ground away. And then as you inhale, pounce to the top of the mat. Land light. Good. Halfway up, breathe in. Fold down and breathe out. Stand tall. Inhale. Good. To the earth. Fold down. Left foot back. Downward facing. And then carry forward to plank as you're ready. Vinyasa. Again, we'll meet downward facing. Bring your feet together, lift your heels high, gaze forward. Let the inhale hop top of the mat. Okay, lengthen up halfway. Fold down as you breathe out. Widen your feet hips width distance apart. Chair pose, sit low, reach up. Notice if you almost always go into an autopilot here. Can you notice some differences? Maybe you sit back and down a little bit more. Good. And then wing your arms, so palms face up. Roll your shoulder blades to the back of your heart. And without tilting your pelvis too much, from your belly button up, find a little heart opener. So maybe even take the chin back. Good. High prayer, breathe in. Fold to the mat, breathe out. Good. Crow pose. You might scoot back a little bit. Lift up onto your tiptoes, but lower down into a squat, bending your knees. Good. Plant your hands just like you would for plank, fingers spread wide, and then lift your knees up above your elbows. So you sort of rest your shin bones onto your upper arms like a shelf, and just start to play with tipping the weight forward and back. You might find that one foot lifting off of the ground is where you pause for today. Good. You might try both. Trust yourself. There's not a single human being who hasn't fallen before they fly here. And then maybe if you are flying, can you pull your collarbones forward and start to lengthen your arms a bit? Yeah, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Travel your way back. Yeah, vinyasa if you'd like it. Hear your breath. Nice and slow as you breathe in. Send the right leg up and back behind you. Step forward, warrior one. Spiral your left heel to the ground. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Good. And then take those wing arms, palms face up. Lift through your chest. Take your chin back. So continue to stamp into your right foot as you find this duality of leaning back. At high prayer overhead, reach up. Lengthen your front right leg and flex your toes up towards your shin. Yeah, and then continue to lean up and back, digging your right heel into the ground. Turn your right toes to the long edge of your mat, left side. Good. Turn your left toes to the back of the room, warrior two. Bend your left leg, arms open out to a T. Settle in here. Take your gaze over your left fingers. Flip your left palm, tip up and back, peaceful warrior, and then take a pause there. Can you draw your left shin bone back a little bit more? Yeah, so you bend deeper. Lengthen your left leg long, triangle pose. Reach for the back of the room, and then slide your left hand down your shin, maybe to a block or the earth. Right arm towards the sky, and then can you make this a bit of a heart opener as you lean back? Good. Take your right arm overhead towards the back of the room, so right bicep by right ear. Wide-legged forward fold. Pour your hands to the long edge of the mat. Yeah, turn your toes in on one another. You can find some movement side to side. You can stay still and keep this simple. You might walk your hands through your feet. And bring your hands back below your shoulders. Slightly angle your left toes towards the back of the room. Bend low into your left leg, Skandasana. Lengthen your right leg as you flex your right toes up towards the sky. Yeah, you can take this at any height and then find some lift through your chest. Gaze to the top of the mat. Use the strength of your legs, warrior two in the right leg. Yeah, travel in whatever way makes sense to you. And then arise. Full breath in. Full breath out. Flip your right palm, tip up and back, peaceful warrior. Side angle lunge. Lower your right forearm to your right thigh. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling, and then again lean back so you find that slight heart opener. Use the strength of your legs, and maybe you draw your right shin bone a bit further forward. Yeah, gaze down to the mat. Plant your left hand down to the ground, side plank on the left side. Stack your right foot on top of your left foot. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling, And then any variations or expressions that you'd like here, maybe lower your left shin down. Maybe lift your right foot up or take it into a tree pose. Yeah. Hear your breath. One more inhale. Chaturanga as you exhale, or straight to downward facing. Nobody is rushing you. As you inhale, send the left leg high. Warrior one. Step forward, right heel roots down as you rise up, and then take those wing arms. Palms face up, lift through your chest. So imagine the back of your heart is pressing up into your front body. High prayer overhead. Lengthen your left leg. Flex your left toes up towards your shin, and then again lean back as you dig into your front heel. Turn your left toes to the long edge of your mat, right side. Right toes turn to the back of the room, warrior two. Can you settle your shoulders away from your ears, but still keep the strength of your arms? Flip your right palm, peaceful warrior, and then take a pause here. Lengthen out your right leg, triangle pose. Reach for the back of the room. Slide your right hand down your shin. Can you stay long on the right side of your body and then lean back? Take your left arm overhead, bicep by ear. Wide-legged fold, pour to the long edge of your mat, head hangs down. You've got a few breaths. Take what you need here. Bring your hands below your shoulders. Angle your right toes to the back of the mat, Skandasana. Get low in the right leg. Flex your left toes up towards the sky. Good. Lift your chest here. Gaze to the top of the mat. Warrior two, use the strength of your legs. Good. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Tip up and back. Deposit your left forearm to your left thigh. Take your right arm up towards the sky, along on the left side of your body. Gaze down, plant your right hand to the mat, side plank, left foot stacks, left arm lifts. So you're able to explore inside of this shape. Make it yours. Exhale to chaturanga or downward facing right away, whichever one works better. And so we'll take that again just a little bit quicker. Breathe in, send the right leg high. Warrior one. Left heel roots as you rise up, and then wing the arms to lift your chest. Good. High prayer, lengthen the right leg, flex your right toes up towards your shins. Turn your toes to the long edge of your mat, warrior two, back of the mat. Beautiful. Peaceful as you breathe in, tip up and back. Triangle, left leg long as you reach back and then down. Take your right arm overhead. A wide-legged fold, pour to the middle. And then straight away, turn your left toes out, Skandasana. Bend low in your left leg. Maybe you try this without using your hands. Gaze to the top of the mat. Warrior two. Nice. Peaceful as you breathe in. Half moon. Launch off of your right foot. Right hand catches you on the ground. And left heel kicks up and back. You might tent up onto your right fingertips. You might bring a block below your right hand. Actively kick through your left heel. A chair pose. Soften into both knees as you step your feet down. They might be wide, they might be together. And then sit back and down. Good. Full breath in. Full breath out. Draw your left knee to your chest. Come balancing on your right leg. Kick your left heel towards your left glute. Dancer pose. Reach back and capture your outer ankle. Keeping your hips square to the front of the room, begin to kick your left foot into your hands. Good, and start to tip your weight forward. You might reach that right arm forward. You might keep it overhead. Find a maybe 50% warrior 3, sending the left leg back, hands to your heart. So give it a little bit less. Yeah, low lunge, hands to the earth. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Take your right arm towards the sky, lean back. Side plank, stack your right foot over your left foot. Good. From here, lift your right foot away from your left leg. Step behind you, wild thing. Pour your heart forward towards the front of the room. Lift your hips up. Good. Downward facing dog, tip back. And then from there, if you'd like a vinyasa, you can ripple forward. But just reset your spine first. Last time through this. Breathe the left leg high. You know the way, warrior 1. Swing the arms, lift your chest. High prayer, palms connect. Lengthen your left leg, flex your toes, lean up and back. Your left toes to the long edge of the mat. Back of the mat, warrior 2. Pieces the breath in. Triangle pose, right leg long. Surf your left arm overhead. Wide-legged fold just for a moment. Angle the right toes out, Skandasana. Sit low in the right leg. One more time, lift your chest. Try not to use your hands. Warrior 2, step into the front left foot. Yes. Good. Peaceful as you breathe in. Take it up and back. And then launch off for half moon. Left hand to the earth. Hop your right foot away from the ground. Kick through your right heel. Yeah, you've got it. Chair pose. Sit low. Arms to the sky. Rock the weight back into your heels. This time, right knee to your chest as you stand tall. Dancer pose. Kick your right heel back towards your right glute. Grab onto your outer ankle and then begin to bow your heart forward. Beautiful. Find a 50% warrior 3. So maybe hands to your heart. Maybe you soften that left leg quite a bit. Low lunge, touch down. Right foot to the back of the mat. Send your left arm towards the sky. Side plank, left foot stacks. Float your left foot away from your right leg. Wild thing, quietly step behind you. Pour the heart forward. Full breath in. Downward facing dog. So re-arrive first and then vinyasa, nice and slow if you'd like it. Few breaths. As you inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Flip over onto your backs. Bring the soles of your feet down into the ground. Knees point up towards the sky. And press your palms down by your hips. Make sure your toes are pointing straight back rather than out. And then pressing through your inner big toes, lift your hips towards the sky. Bridge pose. Scoot your shoulder blades a little closer together underneath you so you find this extra propping up. And then really root down for your left big toe. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Yeah, extend your right heel up towards the sky. Flex your foot. Right foot back down to the earth. Restabilize. Press down through your right big toe, left knee towards your chest first. And then from your inner heel, kick your foot towards the sky. Good. Left foot back down to the mat. Slowly roll your back down to the earth. Sway your knees from side to side a little bit. You might keep your feet on the ground, or you might draw your knees in towards your chest, whatever feels best for you. And bring the soles of your feet back down to the mat. We'll take one more back bend. If you know that bridge is what's working for you, if you have any low back sensitivities at the moment, then take another bridge. If not, I'll guide you through wheel. So for wheel, bring your hands by your ears, fingers facing your shoulders, your toes, and then draw your elbows towards one another as much as possible. Pressing through your feet, lift onto the crown of your head first. Draw your elbows back in towards one another, and then press all the way up. All right, so find that stability first in wheel. This is optional, but if you'd like it, root down through your left big toe. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Good. Send your right foot towards the sky. Right foot back down. Press through your right big toe, left knee towards your chest. Good. Nice and slow. Left heel towards the sky. Left foot down. From wheel, chin to chest, land on your shoulders. From bridge, lower all the way down. And again, just take your knees lightly from side to side. Bringing the soles of your feet to the mat. Knock your knees in on one another so they touch. Your feet might come a little bit wider than your hips. So this just internally rotates your thighs and gives you a bit more space across your low back. If you ever feel a tug in your low back in Shavasana, this might be a better option for you to take. There's no elegant or fancy way to do this, but just roll onto your belly, flop back over. Take your forehead to the earth and reach your arms towards the front of the room, palms face up. This is full pranam. Can you feel your breath arrive into your middle back? Intentionally start to slow yourself down. This is the asana, the shape of offering. Slide your hands below your shoulders. I encourage you to keep your eyes closed as you melt your way back into child's pose. Every time your mind starts to wander off to places that it doesn't necessarily need to be right now, come back through your breath. And thread your right arm underneath your body over towards the left side of the room. And softening your right ear down to the earth. Take your right arm forward to meet your left arm. And then the left arm threads underneath your body. Take your left ear to the ground. Left arm forward. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Any way you need to travel to get back. Full breath. As you inhale, send your right leg up and back behind you. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Right leg long as you breathe in. Pigeon pose. Slide your right knee behind your right wrist. Lengthen your left leg back. Press down into the top of your left foot. If you want to fold forward right away, you've got that option. If not, you might wing your arms like we've been doing, palms face up. And then without collapsing onto the right leg, lift your chest. Good. High prayer overhead. Take your thumbs to the back of your neck, pointing your elbows up towards the sky, and then lightly lean your skull back into your palms. Take a full breath in, gaze up. As you exhale, slowly pour forward. And right away, soften the edges. Where can you soften a little bit more? And always know that if this shape doesn't work for you, it can be a lot on the right knee. So if you're nursing any injuries, always feel free to roll onto your back and cross your right ankle over your left knee for figure 4. As you inhale, begin to rewind, walking your hands back towards your hips. Curl your left toes, send your right leg up and back behind you. Bend your right knee, stack your hips. Move slowly. You might draw circles in the air with that right knee. Step the right foot down. Just notice the difference between the two sides. As you breathe in, send your left leg high. Bend your knee, stack your hips open. Lengthen the left leg long. Pigeon pose, left knee behind, left wrist. Lengthen the right leg back, really press into the top of your right foot. If you did so on the first side, fold forward. If not, wing your arms, palms facing up, lift your chest. High prayer overhead. Thumbs to the back of your neck. Draw your elbows towards one another, and then lean your skull back into your hands. Let the exhale take you down and forward. How can you soften into this? Let the next breath in slowly rewind you to your final downward facing dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Find any slow movement to unwind. And step your left foot down. Taking the smallest steps, walk your way to the top of the mat. Let your knees soften enough to where you can melt your upper body onto your thighs completely. Slowly start to lower yourself down into a seat. All the way down. And lengthen both legs out in front of you. And from here, take your left ankle underneath your right knee. Good. And then right ankle on top of left knee. So you stack your shins. Really try to get your heel on top of your knee rather than in the little knee pit. Yeah, it's not as comfortable. Flex your toes towards your shin. Tighten your fingertips behind you, and then as you inhale, soften your elbows and lift your chest. You might start to feel this in your outer right hip. Keeping this length in your spine, start to walk your hands forward. You might not go very far. You might not go far at all. You might bring blocks underneath your elbows. Just try to keep a long spine and slowly let yourself go a little bit deeper into this. We'll be here for maybe longer than you'd like to. Soften through your jaw. This is called Agni Stambhasana, fire log. Slowly crawl your way back up. Keep your left leg where it is and open your right leg to the top right corner of your mat. So you find this little tree pose shape. As you inhale, reach both arms overhead. Frame your right leg as you fold forward. Let your left shoulder soften. Slowly rise back up. Lengthen both legs out in front of you. Just to reset, maybe give them a little bit of a shake. And then this time, the left ankle will go underneath the right knee. Yeah. And right ankle on top of left knee. Which leg is it? Okay. Tighten your fingertips behind you as you inhale, lift your chest. Just make sure you're on the second side. And as you breathe in, lift your heart. As you exhale, start to crawl your arms forward. Pour over that left shin. Slowly rise back up. Keep your right leg as it is. Open your left leg to the top left corner of the mat. As you inhale, reach up. Frame your left leg as you fold forward. Right shoulder softens. Rise back up. Lengthen both legs forward. You can soften your toes. As you inhale, reach up. With a long spine, fold forward. As you inhale, rise up to a seat and lower all the way down to your backs. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Open your arms out to a T. As you exhale, lower both knees to the right. Take your gaze over towards your left hand. Deep back bends need twisting. So if you feel like you're okay to deepen this, you might scoot your hips closer towards the center of the mat. And then draw your knees in a little closer towards your chest. So you wrap up tighter into a ball. You might even take your right hand to the tops of your legs. Inhale back through center. Let the soles of your feet come to the mat. Re-lengthen your spine. Draw your knees to your chest, and then as you exhale, twist the opposite direction. If you did so on the first side, scoot your hips back towards the center of the mat. Wrap your knees in a little tighter towards your torso, and then the left hand can come to your thighs. Roll back through center as you breathe in. One more time, bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Really let your spine fall long at the center of your mat. And then as you're ready, Shavasana. Spill yourself open, or maybe taking that constructive rest with your knees together and your feet wide. If your low back gives you any trouble here. Allow the backside of your body to completely settle down into the mat. There is nowhere else you need to be for the next few moments. There's nobody in the world who needs you for the next few moments. So with that freedom, really allow yourself to just enjoy being still. Take a long breath in, a long breath out. Bring the soles of your feet back down into the mat, nice and slow. Roll your head from side to side. As you're ready, roll off to the right side of your body, curling up into a little ball. And keeping your eyes closed, arrive into a seat just like you began. Palms face up or down onto your thighs. Find that length through your spine. Take a long breath in to lift the crown of your head. A long breath out to root down. Thank you for getting onto your mat. Namaste.